Joey O'Brien set to announce his commitment decision in a couple days. We don't have that knowledge when we're watching this video right now. We'll talk about the actual way he fits wherever he ends up. But you guys with that information, you guys let me know how he fits your defense. Anything you're excited about this kid, I'll give my 2 cents at the end after we watch the tape. But like I said, this could be more of a evaluation of the football player, Joey O'Brien, not necessarily the Fighting Irish Joey O'Brien or wherever he ends up. But 2026 safety at 6'3", 185, LaSalle College in Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's a real two-way player. I know that, just reading about him, so might have to do what we can with the tape we're given. You know, a lot of these kids that play defense in college play a lot of offense in high school. It's just more about us being able to project him onto the other side of the ball. So it's about looking for traits that will show up on both sides of the ball. At safety, we'll be talking about long speed, ball skills, even though it's a bit different at receiver and more of a center fielder that this kid plays. I really like this kid's hips at 6'3". Like one knock you had on Kyle Hamilton was that he was kind of tight with how tall he was. We've seen it on offense and we've seen it a couple times on defense now, but his hips look really fluid, just not stiff at all, which is a real concern when you talk about these taller safety prospects. The Bishop Gorman kid, Jet Washington, is a great player. He's one of my favorite players I've watched in this class so far, but still some questions regarding how his hips are. The kid's 6'5". Now, this kid, I really don't have those same concerns. You know, I've been able to check that off the box. So, outside of that, this kid's very explosive. We saw it on a couple plays. The first step, that quick trigger on. There was a play before. I'm not trying to, go over it again, but dude ran a 5-yard in. Our guy was pretty far away, and he's able to just, first step, explode right under that. Break up the play. That a lot of kids don't do that. A lot of kids don't have the explosiveness to undercut the route. That was before, though. We'll talk about the new stuff. What else are you getting? Real physical football player. Track speed's there. I think you see that show up on offense. Want to see how he is as kind of like a ball hawk. I'd imagine this kid's playing more of a center field, free safety type at the next level, but I don't really know. We're not going to really talk about that. Well, I think it's important to kind of contextualize what he does athletically. We just haven't really seen. It's just not what he's really doing in high school. We've seen a lot more nickel reps, corner reps, him a bit closer to the line of scrimmage than I think you'll see him at the next level. But, you see the long speed on offense, I think. Definitely see the physicality on defense. physicality on offense now. Sometimes with these evaluations, I try not to get too bogged down into the position the kid plays at the next level because it kind of takes away. It sounds like I'm not highlighting. This kid's a great football player and he could do multiple things well. At the next level, it's just more about where do you get the most out of Joey O'Brien? And maybe that's not a question we have to answer at this very second, but down the line, based on what school he ends up, looking at their roster, their depth chart, even their positions and what they look for at each position, then we can kind of have an idea of what this kid's going to do at the next level. But for now, traits I'm going to highlight first, the versatility. I already kind of talked about that. Don't really have to go into it. Again, really like the hips. At 6'3", that's a legit problem. Like, you'll watch a lot of these cornerback prospects, and you'll just love them in press man when they just are able. They'll be like 6'3", they'll just bully the kid off the line of scrimmage. But once the kid actually is able to run a route and gets a clean release and cuts, they have a lot of trouble making up with that. You can just tell how stiff their hips are. Not the case with this kid. Definitely like that aspect of his game, and I also like his frame a whole lot at 6'3". There's a lot to work with, I think. First of all, if I was a defensive coordinator and the head coach brought this kid in and we're talking about him playing defense, I'd be so excited just because there's a lot of things you can do with him, and I'd feel like I got a steal because I think this kid would be a legit prospect on the other side of the ball as well. But I think I like him on defense. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think. If I missed the mark with the position stuff, or if you guys have an answer, you guys know better than I do since you know what school you ended up at. But thanks for watching.